So, reportedly, all the delays that we heard that we were having with the iPhone 12 might not necessarily happen. As yes, it seems Apple's roadmap, according to sources, might be back on track. Sort of. Those of you that join me in being interested in the Samsung Galaxy Watch 3, we have some more news. And would you look at that? Windows applications on Chromebooks. Like seriously, now we're talking. I'm Jaime Rivera, and regardless of how much of an Android fan you are, you can't lie that last bit on the teaser really made you excited. This is Pocketnow Daily. The official news today begin with deals, and we're actually going to focus a little more on home entertainment in addition to fashion as we get closer to those Father's Day deals that are coming up. We've got a lot of options for smart speakers today. Let's start it off with Google's Nest Hub Max, which I adore, which is currently $30 on discount, leaving it at $199 shipped. The Amazon Echo Show is also $50 off, which means you can get it for $180 shipped. The Fire TV Stick is $10 off, leaving it at $30 shipped. And finally, the Fossil FB Hybrid Stainless Steel Watch is $76 off, leaving it at $99 for the silver variant. There are more deals for Apple's Magic Keyboard, in addition to the Amazon Fire tablets, and more in the links in the description. So a lot of people are already saying that HTC is back, but I'm actually going to be one of those that's not going to agree, because this is not what HTC used to stand for back in the days when HTC was HTC. Back when mid-rangers weren't really a product until pretty much later. But that's what we got today. The company just launched two new smartphones, the Desire 20 Pro and the U20 5G, which are both pretty much mid-rangers. The Desire 20 Pro brings a 6.5-inch LCD display, a Qualcomm Snapdragon 665 SoC, 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of expandable storage, and quad cameras at the back, including a 48-megapixel primary sensor. The U20 5G brings a 6.8-inch display that's also an LCD, a Snapdragon 765G, 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of expandable storage, and pretty much the same camera array as the Desire 20. Both of these bring a 5,000 mAh battery and Android 10 out of the box. Apparently these phones are going to launch in Taiwan right now. If they're going to make it out of there, not exactly sure, but not sure a lot of people are going to care. We'll see. Now, we've been covering a lot of the rumors of what's going to happen with ASUS product going forward, and obviously the ROG phone is one of those that we keep a close eye on because, well, they kind of have taken gaming smartphones to a whole new level. We've been covering the version 3 that's coming up, and, well, it seems to be interesting. See, this ASUS ROG Phone 3 just went through China's TINA certification, revealing more specifications. According to the listing, it will feature a notchless 6.59-inch LCD display running at 120 Hz. I know, today's the day of LCDs. It brings a Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 SoC, up to 16 gigs of LPDDR5 RAM, and up to 512 gigabytes of UFS 3.0 storage. It will also bring a 64-megapixel main camera, as well as a 13-megapixel selfie shooter. Some of the other features more focused on the gaming side include a 6,000 mAh battery, front-firing speakers with a dual smart amplifier, quad microphones and noise cancellation, high-resolution audio, and more. Now, if any of you will join me in not feeling too happy about the lack of an OLED, let us know in the comments. Now, let's be honest, even if Android applications have come to Chromebooks, they haven't necessarily done the best job because they're still made for phones. Even Android tablets never really took off, so you know, that alternative wasn't really the best, and apparently Google's already working on something else. See, apparently Google is working on bringing Windows applications to Chrome OS. The company is partnering with Parallel, which is a well-known company that lets you run cross-platform solutions across different operating systems. We see them on the Mac all the time. In Google's own words, this partnership will allow them to seamlessly add full-featured Windows apps, including Microsoft Office to Chromebook devices. They didn't go into detail on how they plan to make this happen. More details on other technical aspects will be revealed in the coming months. This should reduce the cost of hardware for Chromebook users by adding a cross-platform functionality. The biggest question is, will we consumers have to pay for it? Because Parallel is not free and it's not really cheap. Totally worth it. It's a great application on the Mac. But again, who's going to pay for the cost? Is it Google? Is this their way of bringing a solution? I think it's going to be awesome because Windows apps were designed for the desktop. The problem, I wonder exactly how Microsoft plans to address this with the growth of Chromebooks. And how about if we now talk about pretty much the successor to my current favorite smartwatch. This is the Galaxy Watch Active 2, and obviously we can't wait for that Galaxy Watch 3, which apparently will be the final name. Sam Mobile just recovered every specification you can think of when it comes to this Galaxy Watch 3. We'll be getting two variants, a 41mm variant with 1.2 inches on the display diagonal, and a 45mm variant with a 1.4-inch display, both using Gorilla Glass DX. They will bring a physical rotating bezel, and the 41mm variant will bring a 247 mAh battery, while the 45mm gets a 340 mAh. Both variants will bring 1GB of RAM, 8GB of storage running Tizen OS 5.5. You'll be able to choose between stainless steel and titanium variants. They'll pack a heart rate monitor and ECG. They're also going to be certified IP68, and obviously there will be variants for LTE and GPS that we don't know if that's just going to be one SKU that'll include both or what. Interesting that we don't hear about a stainless steel variant and an aluminum variant. I wonder if there will be a sport version or if this is just going to be it. Stainless steel is good for it, so I think that that would be great. I do miss my other Galaxy Watch in stainless steel. This one doesn't necessarily age the best, but obviously I do love this look, so that's one of the main reasons why I stick to it. We'll see what we get. And finally, the hottest news today have to do with Apple's iPhone 12 and what the company is doing to be able to give us a roadmap that actually doesn't really change many things. I mean, all of us are looking for normalcy with everything that's happened in the pandemic, and we've been covering for the longest time that we were going to have some major delays with this, and apparently that won't be the case. We have some new insight on the iPhone 12's launch from a different analyst, and according to him, Apple's supply chain has now normalized after it was disrupted by the pandemic, and it is ready for the September launch. Even if we have some reports claiming that the iPhone 12 might go the route of the iPhone 10, his report claims that we will be getting a normal September announcement with a launch happening sometime later in October. He also expects the 4 different models to launch with 5G, but Apple will apparently make different 5G models for non-US variants, which won't support millimeter wave. He also claims that even though people believe there's lower demand this year, Apple might enter a super cycle with 350 million of the current 950 million iPhone users entering their upgrade window. These new lower price tags on 5G phones will make it easier for people to upgrade. He also mentioned the fact that the AirPods won't be on the box anymore, driving more sales to the AirPods. And as for WWDC, the report just mentioned that we're getting iOS 14, the transition to ARM-based Macs, and some breadcrumbs when it comes to Apple glasses and AR products. Obviously, on my end, this is just speculation, but think about it. If we get an iPhone that happens on time, and with all the deals that we've been seeing on AirPods lately on sources like Amazon, what if Apple would continue their aggressive strategy of dropping the price of iPhones? Let's just say we get an even lower iPhone 12 on that smaller variant, and then because the company's not bundling AirPods in the box anymore, what if we get some sort of a good discount on AirPods? Would that entice you? Do you think that that would be a good bundle that the company should consider? Because in my case, I think that is the way to go. I mean, AirPods have been Apple's signature inclusion in since the first generation iPods. So I think that dropping that would be very unfortunate, even if they're not necessarily the best. But that is what we need to make a jump into wireless audio, and obviously for people to be able to be willing to adopt new technologies at a time when I don't really feel that, even with the whole fact that a lot of people are due for an upgrade, people are going crazy right now with economics. But that's just me. We'd love to know what you think in the comments down below. Friends, again, if you want to get the news earlier, follow us on PocketNow.com and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. Also follow us on social medias. Our extended coverage happens on Instagram, and follow me on my personal handles to see me, stay at home and wish for better Chromebooks. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.